If King of Fighters 98 has first tier Goku, then in 95 there are Kyo, Iori, and Rugal. It's the same. This time it's Iori, the first rival character in the King of Fighters series. As a member of the rival clan to Kyo, who uses blue flames, he looked incredibly cool, and since his performance was also top-notch, his pick rate was the highest. If King of Fighters 98 has the first tier Goro, then in 95 there are Kyo, Iori, and Rugal. When he appeared in King of Fighters 95, his profile age was 20, so assuming the series has been released every year, as of 2021, the character would be 46 years old. Let's stop the nonsense and start analyzing Iori right away. Skill. Let's start with Guishin Teiwuyi. You can think of it as a simple anti-air move. Just like Kyo, it's a broken anti-air move with a ton of invincibility frames. The startup is 6 frames, but it has a whopping 10 invincibility frames. Kyo's attack hits Iori's sprite first, but you can still see Iori landing the hit. The damage is decent. It's an anti-air that can also finish combos. As I mentioned earlier, since it has a lot of invincibility frames, it's also great for guard cancels. As you can see now, it actually has quite a bit of forward movement, surprisingly. Guard cancel is a technique where you input the move command immediately after guarding when your meter is full. I saw an interesting comment among the comments on the 95-second video.
When you don't have meter, it's said that you can only do a reversal after guarding 6 or more hits, but this hasn't been tested by Cardline, so it's not certain.
So I tested it with Mai, who can easily land 6 hits. Even though the meter isn't full, the guard cancel still activates. After this, I'll remove all the meter and try again. I wonder why I didn't know this until now. Next is Iori's projectile, Dark Thrust. The speed of the projectile changes depending on whether you choose light, medium, or heavy. Iori's close-range raw projectile usually has a separation frame. In this way, you can see that the inside of the guard can move overwhelmingly fast. However, this move is different when used as a normal cancel. You can see that the recovery happens at almost the same speed. Like this, with a normal cancel, after using a projectile, Yuri can apply pressure once more. In this way, you can land an unbelievable strong kick normal, and you can also hit with a light crouching attack, so the rush doesn't end with the projectile. In the same way, the strong kick will hit even opponents who fail to guard. The crouching attack can be cancelled from a normal move, and if you hit with a projectile, you'll still reach the opponent. Next is the move that made Hup Hup Heyo Online famous, the Gyu-hwa. This move is an infamous overpowered technique that makes Iori a top-tier broken character. The command is the reverse of the Hadouken motion, and you have to input it 3 times in a row up to 3 stages. Of course, since you can easily use it by canceling from a strong normal attack, even beginners can pull off this combo easily. However, using the strong normal cancel into Gyu-hwa like this is not recommended because it's hard to confirm the hit. So it's better to use this method when you can confirm the hit with a low kick. After 3 to 4 hits, you can typically use Gyu-hwa without the risk of it being blocked. Since you can do a combo that's easy to confirm the hit and deals a lot of damage, it's no wonder it's considered overpowered. Let's compare the damage between canceling with Gangi Bongi and Gyu-hwa. It slightly overlaps with the I in Mai's name. I marked it with a check to make it easier to compare. Next up are Gangi Bongi, Cancel, and Gyu-hwa. You can see that it deals less damage than Yaki Bongi, so it makes sense to use an easier and stronger combo, right? With Gyu-hwa, you can use it for 2 hits, then follow up with Guishin Teiwugi. I'll check the health bar to compare the damage. Right after the second stage, I used Guishin Teiwugi. Due to the significantly higher damage, using the 3rd stage is unnecessary. If you successfully hit Gyu-hwa as an anti-air, the game could end in one go. There are no special commands, just use it up to the 2nd stage, pause for a moment, and then use it again. Another interesting thing is when you meet Chima in the Fatal Fury team's background in round 1. Because Chima's jump is abnormal, Iori's strong Kyokugen can hit immediately. So in this way, as soon as the game starts, it becomes a near-death situation. But there's a technique that can break even these absurd combos. If you hit them with a chair shot as a balance patch, they won't be able to use it again. Gyu-hwa can also fall backward. You can use this to shake up your opponent's energy, but you can't deal damage with Gyu-hwa that falls backward. To use it, simply press punch while holding the last direction of the Gyu-hwa directional key upward. Next is Gyumwol Yum, another approach technique of EOE. Depending on the strength, the approach distance and speed will change. It's often used to quickly close a long distance, but in 95, the real use of this technique is in stamina shaking. With a technique like Gyu-hwa Overstep, if you hold the last direction key upward, you can cross over. The first strike can land, but the second strike is mainly for finishing since it often misses. Without this technique, you can't cross over a knockdown opponent. Using the crossover technique makes your character overlap the opponent, making it difficult to predict where you'll block them. You can tell you've crossed over by looking at the slot motion, but it's hard to notice when it happens in-game. I'll try it on Mai, so please see if you can tell whether it's normal or reversed. If you can tell the difference, you can be confident that you have pro-level observation skills. Next is Iori's special move, Otome. He approaches at a very fast speed, but there is absolutely no invincibility. However, since it's so fast, sometimes it actually works as a surprise attack. In later series, the damage was reduced, but here, the damage is actually pretty good. The character Palchin Yeo has a bug that only activates when she has just 1 hit points remaining. It's not triggered by a specific command or situation. Normally, when you use a special move and your opponent guards, it's natural for the one who used the move to have a frame disadvantage. As you can see here, the guard recovery ends first for the one who blocked. However, for player 1 as Iori, his recovery ends first even if the Otome is blocked. This part is really crazy, so there's no big risk in using Otome. In this way, the opponent gets stuck in guard and you can keep spamming the move. Next is the special move. Pressing forward heavy punch twice performs a Mongtan, a 2-hit combo. It's a forward heavy kick that's incredibly slow to activate, but it counts as an overhead. These two don't have anything special, but Iori has a special move called Baekhap, which is considered overpowered. It's a special move that lets you reliably attack with a cross-up, even if you go behind your opponent. That doesn't mean her basic attacks can't cross up either. Jumping heavy kick is a bit hard to cross up with, but with heavy punch you can see cross-ups quite often. There's also a bug with Baekhap. If you do a back jump and then use heavy kick, you'll get an in-place Baekhap, but it doesn't really mean anything. There's a bug that allows Baekhap to be chained repeatedly. I'll demonstrate it in the simplest order. If you use Baekhap attack after a whiffed jump, it chains like this. However, the bug only occurs if you hit Baekhap at the lowest possible point. The second method is to charge your energy, then immediately jump and use Baekhap. The third one is really hard to pull off, but it's jumping right after crouching. It seems like this would be the most effective in actual matches, but it's really hard to pull off. If anyone knows a sure way to use this, I'd appreciate it if you could let me know in the comments. Next is the evasive attack. If you perform an evasive attack at very close range, it will be judged as a mid-attack. This is really powerful because it lets you shake up your opponent's guard and mix in mid-attacks as well. However, it doesn't activate in the corner. Usually, when your opponent is knocked down, you use it after overlapping with them using the freeze bug. First, when you overlap with the freeze bug, it's hard to tell whether it's a normal or a cross-up, so your opponent has to consider whether it's a low attack or a mid-attack through an evasive move. So when your opponent is knocked down, they have to guess between 4 options instead of just 2. There's a reason why people say that 95 Iori has the best performance. Since this is a video about Iori, I included the Iori team ending at the end. That's all I prepared, and as I was reading the comments, it seems that Iori is currently on top. From my perspective as a noob, whether it's Kyo or Iori, they all seem the same to me. As you all know, what's more important than a character's abilities is the player's skill. But when players of equal skill levels face each other, isn't it obvious that the one using the stronger character will have a higher win rate? But let's make sure not to do anything that would get us hit with a chair shot. That's all from Dolly. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment.